Hello, YouTube. I'm back. I always say that, and it's so cliche to say I'm back, but I'm back. So, since I've been gone the first time I was gone for a year, and during that year, I did lose quite a bit of weight. And then I checked in when I was in Spain, but I created a whole new username. And this go round, I'm starting fresh, So this will be a quick introduction to myself for my current followers and new followers. On Instagram, you guys know me as No Quitting Allowed, but now my new name is Regular Seatbelt. And I decided I would start with the whole explanation for the name change and the meaning behind it. And then I'll go on to the basic generic introduction, blah, blah, blah. Okay. A regular seatbelt is because when I first started losing weight, um, I remember when I was younger, I would go on trips with family and always needed a seatbelt extension. Um, 2 years or 2 to 3 years ago, I went on a trip to New York and to Seattle, and once again, I needed the seatbelt extension. And on the trip to New York City, it was my first time there. My friend, she was asleep. Our flight was at 6 in the morning. I was sitting directly across from basically like a row of young professional handsome men, and it was 6 in the morning. I remember, putting trying to put the seatbelt on, and the seatbelt didn't fit, which I knew. I'm a short, chubby girl, so I'm not. Back then, I was really almost 400 pounds. And you're talking about somebody who's barely 5 feet tall. I'm a little girl. Um, I remember sitting there looking. I see the stewardess walking past. I'm like, okay, is there any way I can get their attention without embarrassing myself? Which was weird that I'm acting like these men can't see my size. But in my head, I'm like, oh, this would confirm that I'm fat. Like forget the fact I had to waddle down the aisle. But this is what's going to do the I'm sorry, you guys. I keep Instagram. It's addicting. Okay. Um, I'm gonna edit this out. Okay. So the guy, the stewardess walks by, and I kept tapping him a little bit, but then I realized he didn't get the point. So I put the cover over me. I put my seatbelt on behind me, and I put the blanket over my leg so the stewardess wouldn't be able to tell. Well, it was only like an hour flight, and I'm thinking they wouldn't really notice. Well, every 2 minutes, they kept walking past me and tapping me on the shoulder and asking to see my seatbelt. And I kept saying, no, 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 I have it, I have it, I have it. And I would pull it out, and then I would act like I was going to sleep, like, oh, you're interrupting my sleep. And so when I started my journey initially, um, my goal was I don't want to have to ask for another seatbelt extension. To me, nothing is more humiliating. No, I take that back. I think if you can't fit on a scale, which I've been there before too, but it was in the privacy of my home. So it wasn't so public, like asking for a seatbelt extension on a plane with hundreds of strangers is like, you remember that movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape? And they had to get like the special crew to get the mom out the house because she was so damn big. They couldn't like lift her dead body out. And they like had to arrange everything around her size. That's what it felt like. So my whole thing last year was regular seatbelt. I remember I was looking up the FAA standards for the standard seatbelt, and I remember seeing how many inches your waist had to be able to fit it, and I hit it. And so when I went to Europe, I got on the plane, and the first thing I did was sit down, put everything down, and I got on the plane first. Like I was one of the first people on, and I got on there on purpose. Plus, it was getting dark. I got on early just to make sure I wouldn't have to ask for a seatbelt via my neighbor. And so I sat down and put it on, and I did not need a seatbelt extension. So I finally regular seatbelt status over here. Okay, so that's the explanation for the name. So yeah, regular seatbelt. It's little things, little triumphs like that kept me going. Now for a basic generic introduction. I'm a photographer. I'm 28 years old. I live in the Midwest. I have no children. I'm not married, never been married. I'm currently looking for employment abroad. I would love to live in Central America, South America, or Southeast Asia, preferably. I would say Europe, but Europe is way too expensive for me. I mean, it's nice to go and visit, but for my pocketbook, as much as I want to see things, I would prefer to live somewhere that's a little cheaper cost of living. So I'm venturing into the world of TESOL, which is teaching English second language. And just looking at other jobs, anything out there and trying to network and get out of my comfort zone. What else can I say? I like to work out actually. Right now I'm going through a rough patch. And it's more so because I'm going through things with my body and waiting for doctors to tell me what's going on. As far as my weight loss halting for almost 9 months, 10 months at this point. But so far I'm down 70 pounds. So, and lots of inches. So, you can see more of my pictures you can see my pictures. None of them are here. You can see my pictures on Instagram under regular seatbelt. So, check it out. And check out my blog. It's in the About Me area, the WordPress little link. That's my website now. I just want to communicate with you guys more, and Instagram didn't allow it sometimes. So some days I just want to talk. So you guys have me at your disposal. Plus I'll be cooking on here, and y'all gonna see my rhythmless ass trying to do workouts and looking a plum fool. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for checking out my first 2014 video, and I think my next one will come. I think I'll do a video on the airport before I leave again on Tuesday. So I think I'll hit you guys with a video before I head out. And of course, you guys will be following me on my journey throughout Punta Cana and different regions in Dominican Republic. And depending on how my money is, I may stay a little bit longer. So we shall see. And we may try to venture off somewhere else. So buckle up. Your regular seatbelt. That was so cheesy.